This is the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And if you're all sitting comfortably, I will begin. It all said to have happened a long, long time ago in the year 1284. After a hard day's work, a group of men were sitting together enjoying a cool drink in the town of Hamelin. The butcher, the baker, the cobbler and the tailor. They were talking about leather and meat and about the price of an ell of fine cloth. They also spoke about the new watchtower that had been built in the town and about the strong walls around it. The butcher thumped on the table with his broad hands and said, "I'll wager that no town is safer than ours." "You're quite right," said the tailor, trying to calm him down. "Nobody disagrees with you, but where is our friend the miller this evening?" "A wagon loaf of corn arrived at the mill very late," replied the cobbler, "but I'm sure he will join us later." The four refilled their tankards and sat waiting for the miller. When he finally entered the inn, the butcher said to him jokingly, "You've had a long struggle with your sacks of corn today, old friend." "I have had a struggle," replied the miller, "but not with the sacks. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden my storeroom was overrun with rats. My lads and I had our hands full trying to kill the little beast. I worked like a thresher." Then he added with a twinkle in his eye, "and I have an enormous thirst as a result." They all laughed at his joke, and soon the rats were forgotten. However, when the cobbler began work in his shop the next morning, he was soon reminded of them. They were scurrying to and fro amongst the old boots, sitting inside the rolls of leather, and one was even sitting on his stool. The cobbler ran home to tell his family the terrible news. He found his wife in the kitchen, trembling like a leaf. She told him that the children had woken up in the night to find rats sitting on their beds and running about all over the floor. After scarcely a week, the little monsters were in every house, including the butchers, the bakers and the tailors. They even were in the school, running about between the children's desks and gnawing at their books. They no longer hid in the darkness. They nibbled and gnawed at everything and everyone in broad daylight. "Oh," cried the maids, horrified, when they went to pick up a bowl or a jug. "Oh," cried little Trine when she wanted to slip into her dress one morning. "Oh," cried Cheeky Hands too when he opened his school bag. Nothing was safe from the mice and the rats, although the people of Hamelin tried everything to bring the plague under control. They collected all the cats from the surrounding area and set them loose in the town, but it was no use. They attacked the rats with sticks and pitchforks, but where 10 were killed, another 100 crawled out of their holes. And so Hamelin soon fell on evil times. Bins and crates, cellars and granaries stood empty. The children cried out for bread, and the grown-ups were at a loss. The mayor sat in the town hall with his councillors and kept hoping for a solution. He had sent messengers to proclaim throughout the land, "A reward of 100 gold pieces will be given to the man who can save Hamelin from the rats and the mice." However, so far no one had come forward, and the rats were becoming more daring from day to day. They ran about between the councillors' legs, and when one knocked the town clerk's inkpot onto the floor, the mayor got to his feet and said, "If no help comes today, we have only one choice. We must pack our belongings and abandon the town." The councillors nodded in agreement. Just then a servant entered the room. "A very strange man is outside. He claims to be a rat catcher and is willing to rid the town of the rats and the mice if he is given the promised reward." The mayor's heart missed a beat in excitement, and he ordered the stranger to be brought in at once. And so he appeared before the council. His clothes were brightly coloured, and the only thing that he held in his hands was a pipe. He looked like one of those pipers who played music for the young folk to dance to at fairs. His eyes twinkled with merriment, as if he were off to a wedding. The mayor said at once, "If you can rid the town of the rats and mice, 100 gold pieces shall be yours." "Agreed," answered the stranger. 100 gold pieces, no more and no less. Then the mayor led the man out into the marketplace, where the people of Hamelin were gathered, and told them what he had agreed upon with the piper. So it shall be, 100 gold pieces or a just reward, was their answer. Then the piper began to play strange music, like nothing the people of Hamelin had ever heard before. And as they stood around silently, thousands of rats and mice came running out. They were no longer wild and vicious, but as if bewitched. They came to a standstill in front of the piper. As he turned and walked away, they followed him in a line around the whole square, and finally out of the town and down to the river Wiser. Without turning around once, the piper strode into the water, and all the mice and rats followed him and were never seen again. The stranger hurried straight back to Hamelin and stood before the council and the townsfolk. "I've kept my part of the agreement," he said, "and rats and the mice have gone. Now you must keep your word and give me the reward we agreed upon." "We must consider the matter," replied the mayor, who regretted having promised so much. 100 gold pieces is rather a large sum just for a little tune on your pipe. I think that 1 gold piece is quite sufficient." "Oh," cried the Pied Piper, "I have saved the whole town, and you call that just a little tune? Remember, a promise is a promise." "Don't get cheeky, young fellow, or I'll have you chased out of town," said the mayor. "To show you that I'm being fair, listen to what the people of the town have to say." "Here, here," said the tailor, 1 gold piece is enough." "Enough for this piece of devilry," called out the baker. "1 gold piece or nothing, you have no other choice," swore the miller. "You can keep your piece of gold, you ungrateful men," replied the stranger angrily, and went away full of bitterness. The mayor then ordered all the bells in the town to be rung in thanks for the wonderful way in which the town had been saved. Soon afterwards a great celebration took place, at which rich and poor alike danced late into the night, drank and enjoyed themselves. The next morning, it was the 26th of June, while all the grown-ups were at church and the great town clock had just struck 8 o'clock, the stranger walked through the town once more. He played the same strange tune as before, but this time there was no twinkle in his eye. His eyes burned with a look as cold as ice. In no time at all he had another procession behind him, but this time it wasn't rats and mice, it was the children, the boys and girls who poured out of their houses and ran along behind him. The stranger went through all the streets of the town, and the mayor's daughter followed the call of the pipe too. And so they went out, beyond the town walls and over the hills, where all at once the procession vanished. A nursemaid saw them disappear. Horrified, she ran through the streets of Hamelin crying for help. By the time the parents emerged from church, it was too late. They searched high and low and called the children's names, but they were nowhere to be found. What a weeping and a wailing was to be heard, and everyone blamed his neighbour for the misfortune. The tailor blamed the baker blamed the miller, and the miller blamed the council. At last the mayor ordered messengers to be sent out over the country and the sea to ask everywhere whether the children had been seen. Later, 2 of the children returned. One was blind and the other was dumb. The blind child could only tell of the mysterious pipe music, but knew nothing about the place or the other children. The dumb child could show the way the children had gone, but could not tell what had happened. So the people of Hamelin waited impatiently for news from the messengers. They waited day after day and night after night, full of anxiety. But the news that they received was always bad. One by one the messengers returned home and could only report that no one had seen the children anywhere. And so the people of Hamelin had to accept and bear the fact that 130 children were lost forever, and that the stranger had taken a bitter revenge for their ingratitude. That ends the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Very well illustrated as well. Very well illustrated by Felicitas Kuhn.
past that. It's bound to go into the other bells now, surely. Yeah, that's quietening down. Yes, now then.
Approaching 12 now. Still coming from the church. Getting quieter and quieter now. Oh, what's
That was
that?
only 6 or 7. Ah. Now, will these ring now, or is that
No, I
it?
don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, no.
Ah.
It's a church. I think it's just a church. I think that's just ornament. I
Oh.
don't think they ring somehow. They don't look like it. I don't think. No, definitely they do. There's a police. It's a police place, isn't it? They've got police on there.
Yeah.
No, I think they're just decoration.
Well, like I said, I heard ringing 5 minutes after 11:30. So perhaps that bit is fine, but it's slow. I suggest we wait for 5 minutes at least. Yeah, go and sit down somewhere.
It's raining a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's those little balls. Those little socks.
Yeah.
That was a key ring. It's only 2 something, wasn't it?
Let's go and sit down and see if it does actually ring. We'll only wait for 5 minutes or so. Oops. Oh, there's another of those strange bikes. We're going down a bit further. Whether it will ring, we don't know. But I'll wait here for 5 minutes anyway and see. I've seen a photograph of this anyway somewhere.